Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Sorry, this is my mother. If you know my mother, she 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 get irritated a lot, and she irritated me a lot. Uh, she don't really like me doing the whole YouTube thing. I guess she don't understand the whole process of it, cause she's from a different generation. She like privacy and stuff. I have a cold that's been killing me, guys. The flu. I think I catch it from my cousin who catch it. It's like spring break going towards after winter. There's there's two there's two cold you don't want to catch. A one doing summer and one doing after spring break because those will like break you to the bones, bro. They like kill your muscle up like crazy. Pretty much, I'm gonna just take off my shirt. Uh, I'm not even gonna. Matter of fact, I probably put my shirt back just because I have a cold. I don't want to get. I don't feel better, so I probably will put my shirt back. Uh, Besides that, I don't want to catch a cold. I'm already at a fever. So hi guys, how you guys been up to? Um, we just trying to get it. Hopefully today's first night. I'm gonna put in some NyQuil. Hopefully that will make me feel better. Hopefully I can do a 1 hour. Uh, let's see what we're gonna do. Let's start with. Oh, I don't have no Instagram pop up. Let's start with Instagram to see what's going on Instagram. Uh, let's start with DJ Academy. Let's see what's going on in the world, man. Let's pull up Instagram share. We're gonna go to back to this. So yeah, what's been going on in the entertainment world? Uh, where we left last time. Uh, uh, well, I guess Jay Borger got suspended. This guy is risking his career, bro. Just trying to put a print. I understand, like, the NBA is being over strict, especially with black athlete, but I think they just prevent it from get too ghetto, and they don't want to be like, uh, because what happened is you're gonna have a lot of the majority of the people not watching it. Maybe they'll do. Maybe it's too boring now. I think the NBA trying to find a concept that everybody people were gonna watch every year. I feel like preseason there isn't too many people. There's so many shit to watch. Preseason is like right before the I think it's like Super Bowl, so or football final. So people are watching football instead of watching NBA, especially when the games start in the same day. And right now, people are watching both the NBA and the Major League Baseball. So people are beginning to have a lot to watch. And and one thing people do not understand, or rich people do not understand, people in entertainment, people gotta work more than one job nowadays, right? Back in the day, you used to have one job, and then if you're not a going out person, you spend your whole time um, watching TV if you're not an outgoing person. But not only nowadays, you cannot do that because we have two jobs. Some people have three jobs. Some people have four jobs. You don't have time for TV. You worry about your bills, especially with the way the inflation is going. That's one. Number two, bro, with the new millennials, they're not watching sport like that. They're watching streamers. Like we live like people are trying to take a watching TV. bro, everybody is famous nowadays. So people are you understand there's such thing like first it was YouTube. So there's such thing called like influencer. People are following their favorite influencer 24/7. The young kids, people like me, millennials, I like watching YouTube. I like watching the after effect. I would like to wait until playoff. I also have two jobs. I don't have time to watch, and I'm not one of the people that like, I'm a small guy, but maybe I watch basketball majority of the season. I like football, very limited. I'm not a baseball guy. I'm not gonna lie to you just for the video. I'm not a hockey guy. I like little like highlight when they get into my Instagram feed. I'm trying to be a first myself, so I'm putting a lot of effort of creating content. So between me working and creating content, I don't have time. So you have a lot of people that have two jobs, trying to run business. People are following. So the like you can, bro, you can like the time is different. There's too many ways to work content. People are like you guys are allow people to have short memory frames. Oh, another thing is I gotta get to that, but like so it's not going to be the same no more. So just like baseball doesn't have that same amount of viewer, it's going to be the same thing with NBA. But I see like NBA trying to expand. I think they're trying to stress FF 210. Like they have NBA Africa, bro. That shit is not going nowhere. Nobody want to watch Free Africa. I think they're trying to go expand to NBA Europe, bro. That shit not gonna work too. So it is what it is. Uh, well, beside that, bro, when FIGO found out, bro, those guys, man, they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn. They don't want to learn, bro. Sorry, I'm trying to get back home, bro. I can barely talk. But Bossy Richie, who you guys remember I make a video a while ago about how there was a face cut him after a concert where he snatched a phone from his young girlfriend, the girlfriend who he caught cheated on him previously. I guess he forgive her and they get back together. Not only they get back together, she's actually pregnant right now. So that she doesn't just for a girlfriend, but she's his pregnant girlfriend. Well, I don't know whether it's his parents who saw that, her parents that saw that, or whoever somebody put it on her body. What she should do, she went to the cops, right? Because I feel like she like I said that in my previous video, she got a little clout, right? She making money on her own. Even though Buster was making more money than her, but she's making money as an influencer, and she can write that shit off, bro. So she don't see like this guy is by ticket, you know. She like, oh, I can make money without this guy. And once she feel like she's famous enough, she don't need you, bro. If you disrespect her, bro, yeah, yeah. Oh my god. So I gotta breathe in my bath, guy. Oh my god. So she actually went to the cops and pressed charges. She also insinuated that he choked her for 2 hours and while she's pregnant. So they drop her, they pull up a felony charge. I don't know if he have to go to court. And either way, she's pregnant, so she gonna be good for 18 years with child support, right? She's gonna be good with child support. So I feel like that because she knows she's pregnant, she don't need that nigga no more. She got that what she wanted, 18 years of child support, and she's gonna make money as an influencer. So yeah, she's good. So and his career could be like taking a big huge dip. Nobody gonna like you see what Diddy going to. That's what I don't understand, man. You see what Diddy's going to. I don't know why those guys don't learn, but it is what it is, though. It is what it is. Besides that, what else is going on? Uh, it looks like uh Kevin Gates and Brittany Renner is an item. I don't know what's going on. I thought she was good. They're like holding head, even though he's like married, but not technically married. People say, oh, he's dogging her, but I understand that both into like spirituality and Muslimism, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sus Walker did a show while on a wheelchair. Uh, people come see it. People, it's a tough time right now. I don't know why people are wasting their money. Uh, we're doing the tough guys. That's why it's a lot of black people be broke, bro. We like party. We like uh, we like wasting money on frivolous things. Uh, bro, I saw this. I'm not gonna. Uh, I don't know if it's that for clout, right? I don't know if it's that for clout, right? So you got this actor, Terrence Howard, who went on this PBD podcast, and he talked about how uh, Didi tried to hire him as an acting lesson, but really want to have a sex with him. Bro, this guy been going through a lot of shit. I think like people said, just because you been going through shit, and I feel like people will, if you say anything, people would believe you, right? People feel like they can say anything for believe you. Terrence Howard been going through some weird shit. Terrence Howard is a Kanye West version of that Hollywood. He's not quite in that Kanye West level yet, but he's been going but like crazy on some what's that word? Conspiracy theorists. Uh, but well, a lot of people. Well, what you get out of this? What do you get out mission that like you see how this been going through a court system, dealing with lawyers. Like, are you gonna be a witness then? Or is that what you're trying to be? You want a friend to come for you and try to explain that, testify? Is that what you're trying to do? You trying to figure it out? I don't know, bro. Some people, man. Some people, I don't get it. I get it. I don't get it. You wanna be bad? I don't see you be bad with what's his name? Who take your role? Uh, Robert Downey Jr. Who gives your world to Cheetah because you were like, come on, bro, come on. I'm not even gonna play that video, but if you wanna go see it, go to that PBD podcast and you can see it. It's online somewhere, or there's clip in there. So Astro Speed is in China, bro. He's enjoying. He's flying everywhere. Like, uh, Chinese tourist people, man. They've been going everywhere, different province, different city in China, and to show them different things they have going on, like the electric cars that can park by itself, that can go to a submarine as a driving on water. Showing them their how advanced their uh, cell phone is. They got how the robots are more advanced in America, how the country technology is more advanced, to how the subway is more advanced. Pretty much also like he like we already know he already a bias a bias with us towards Asian in general. Yeah, he's a big fan of Asian people and Asian culture. So yeah, uh, that to say that what he's talking about is not true, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Another thing that happened, bro, with this tariff, bro, would you buy it? Like, buy food already like too expensive without trying to buy it. Before COVID, the phone went from like 12 to like 1,500, right? By iPhone. If an iPhone went from 2,300, I'm not buying no iPhone. I'm going to Samsung or I don't know. People are gonna just stop buying phone, bro. People just literally gonna stop buying phone. I know they already had the plan. Just that's why people were like able to buy a plan because that 2 year plan, but 2,300, nigga. I don't know why Tim Cook is not making a phone call directly to to Trump. Like, hey nigga, we'll give you $1 billion. Please don't take the tariff. We'll give you a fucking $1 billion. Do that, man. Come on. Bro, what do you think about that? this guy got so much money, bro. He like, I don't know what to do with this money. So Eden Ross, who worth probably a $250 million over 3 years with Kick, he actually tried to get a cruise, a 7 day cruise on week with a bunch of streamers abroad to like travel. I don't know if it's like gonna be the Caribbean, whatever it is. Of course, he was Kai and AD Ross there, but damn, I wish I could be there, bro. Probably gonna be too old, but plus I know about YouTube. I haven't done. I think I only have one subscriber on my Twitch account. I haven't been focused. I've been trying to get monetized on YouTube. Even though that shit keep going up and down. I'm gonna see what happens, bro. Bro, I'm really tired, bro. If you see my channel, I want people to watch my shit. I don't even know what to do, bro. I don't know what to do. I get to that point, I only need 200 watch hour, bro. And that shit froze at 200 down, and that shit wanna go back, bro. If that shit go like back to like 700, I'm just gonna give up, bro. Honestly, it take me like 3 years to rebuild this channel, and I get to that level where I was close to get about 200 watch hours to monetize, and YouTube fucked me off, just froze my watch hour. I don't even know what to do no more. I just don't. So if it's gonna deteriorate, bro, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Let me know what you think about that. Would you go? I know I certainly will go. But we'll see. Beside that, what else is going on in the entertainment world? Uh, Bola, give me something. Uh, oh yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, a federal judge ordered Trump ordered U.S. to return the father that was going to Venezuela, the burial man. Since his weekend, Trump went to like his home in Mar-a-Lago. I don't know when he came back, what he will do, whether or not he will agree with the judge and try to get this guy back into the country. Uh, yeah, we'll see what happened. Uh, because of the tariff, bro, I heard Jaguar and Land Rover said they're gonna hold the amount of shipment they sent to the U.S. Bro, most of your sales is in the United States, bro. People in the United States love Range Rover. I don't know about uh, Jaguar, but they definitely love them some Range Rover. If you do that, bro, are you expect to send their sale to UK? Bro, that's like probably like 50% of what your sale is coming from. So have at it. People just gonna buy gonna watch other stuff instead of watch your shit, but we'll see. We'll see. I think people are delusional sometimes about how much power do they do have. Uh, Shade Room. What the hell going on? This is old school news, blood. Man, this audio with grown. What the hell is that? What kind of 3D BS is that? Oh, that is some 3D-ish. Oh, come on. Double Trump into that BS, man. Who's that? Family almost pop out. My little girl push gift. I guess that's what another Muslim girl turned 18. Uh, he always giving his daughters cars. That's another one of them. Still looking pregnant. I don't know. Is that a cat or whatever that shit is? Bruh, let me not you this.
Are calling the demonstrations hands off, and they say that they're taking a stand against the Trump administration's handling of the economy, human rights, and the firing of thousands of federal workers. More than 1,200 protests are now scheduled nationwide. Anti-Trump protests are getting underway right now across the country. Organizers are calling the demonstrations hands off, and they say,
look, right here, Washington, D.C., New York, West Palm Beach, where Trump is, bro. There was this protest everywhere, bro. That shit is crazy. People are sick and tired. And just like people in Haiti, they are sick and tired, bro. They are ready to get this Trump out of here. But we'll see. What else is going on? Neighborhood talk, what else what you got? I think, yeah, that shit is already a year old. Fuck, that shit gonna be something by stream. Damn. Ah, I should have played that shit, but man. We'll see what happens. If we get a copyright, we're just gonna take it down, but congratulations to Glorilla. Uh gotta make the stream long so it doesn't really matter. Well, this is good. Oh shit, it's tough, man. That's what happened with TD. So, well, day 26 Brian Andrew busted in Texas on felony robbery and child support warrant. Going hard, but those guys don't feel like they don't want to get a job. They're like too famous, but they recently went on a tour. I don't know what happened. They didn't make enough money. He has an outstanding felony robbery warrant, but has not all. He's also been tried in Travis County for a paid child support, and also booked a $12,000 bond, and it hasn't been confirmed if he has posted yet. It was when it was 2026. It has been working overtime trying to pay back again after years of breakup drama and involved in DD neighborhood. Oh man, yeah, become famous and you have no body. That's tough. And then you fucking all those women, and you got no money. Oh damn. Uh, that's sad, man. Sad situation overall. Uh, you wish that no one. But let's remove that. Let's let's invite something else. Uh, YouTube. Uh, uh, and U.S. and Canada relationship is irreparable damage. Oh my God. Look at what Canada you Prime Minister said.
What does 200% more power mean? It means I drill 200% more.
We want to turn to how Canada is responding to President Trump and those first rounds of tariffs. They have implemented their own 25% tariff on vehicles imported from the U.S. that do not comply with the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade deal. America's closest ally was not on the list of countries impacted by this latest round of Trump tariffs last week. But Canada's foreign minister says the U.S. relationship will never be the same. Here are the remarks from Prime Minister Mark Carney.
We are facing the most significant crisis of our lifetimes because of President Trump's unjustified tariffs and his threats to our sovereignty. I tried to channel some of that when I spoke to him last week. And I said I and we will reject any attempt to weaken Canada. In this trade war, just like in hockey and in soccer, we will win.
All right, joining us now is Martina Stevis-Gridnev, Canada Bureau Chief for the New York Times. Of course, dragging out the soccer and hockey analogies there seem very appropriate. But I want to ask you, did Canada catch a bit of a break partially as a result of Carney and Premier Doug Ford's outreach efforts to the Trump administration?
I don't know who made that happen. I think in part it is because the administration has different plans and different thoughts about free trade or free-ish trade in North America. But it is being framed here as a small victory in a really bad scenario where Canada is already hurting. So there's really no space for triumphalism, even though we are in the middle of a general election campaign. We have elections on April 28th, and certainly Mark Carney would love to claim this as a big success, but he's being cautious. And the reason is there's still a lot of pain on Canada already.
It's been interesting to see Canadians that we all know and love get really riled up about this. I mean, I saw videos on TikTok of people scratching out Americano on coffee shop boards and replacing it with something more Canadian. I'm wondering, first of all, what you're hearing from average people. You have Carney and others saying this relationship could be irreparably damaged. Do you think that's accurate? Do you think Canadians are going to look at Americans differently going forward? And then I also want to ask you if you think the upcoming the upcoming Canadian election, which you just mentioned, had any impact on why Canada didn't get its own new round of tariffs this last time.
Well, first of all, what is the average Canadian thinking? Obviously, we're not in everyone's minds, but we do know, and in part because of opinion research pertaining to the election, that people are really thinking about the United States, the relationship with the United States and the impact with the United States and the impact President Trump's tariffs and his overall attitude toward Canada have had on the sort of popular mind here. People certainly understand, even if they're not sort of, panicked, and a lot of people are, let me tell you, even if they don't belong in that category, I think the average person is really aware that what's happening in the United States right now, what it's doing to the US-Canada relationship can be really damaging for Canada. And it's with that in mind that people will be heading to the polls in a few weeks. Now, with regards to whether the Canadian election impacted the US attitude, can't really speak to that. It's really hard to really kind of tell apart what is driving President Trump's decision at this moment. That being said, we do.
Okay. What else is going on?
I put the Skull Shaver, the Remington, and the Freebird in the head-to-head challenge to see which one was the best head shaver.
And joining us now is Michael Hardaway, former communications director to now Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, along with Brendan Buck, former press secretary to former Speaker John Boehner, and of course, an MSNBC political analyst. Michael, I want to start with you. Trump didn't speak at all on camera yesterday, despite these massive stock market dives. He spent his time golfing, as we just heard, including at a Saudi-funded golf tournament at one of his courses on Thursday. From a communications standpoint, what is happening with this messaging and what message does it send?
This is the worst possible thing you can do from a political perspective. You have skyrocketing prices. You have people's retirement accounts in free fall. You have the price of nearly everything in America going up. And Donald Trump is playing golf for the third or fourth day in a row. This is absolute insanity. And the reality is that Republicans will pay the price in the midterm elections if they can't figure out a way to actually stand up to this president. Tariffs are actually a congressional authority. It's an Article 1 authority put forth by the Constitution. It should actually be Congress that does this sort of thing more than the executive. And it is my hope that congressional Republicans step forward and really take that authority back and work with Democrats to rein this in.
Well, Brendan, we are seeing some kind of uncharacteristic pushback from a few Republican lawmakers on these tariffs. GOP senators helped Democrats pass a resolution to actually block them, although it's likely DOA when it gets to the House. But take a listen to some of the strong words we've heard from Republicans on this issue.
Guess what? Tariffs are a terrible mistake. They don't work. They will lead to higher prices. They are a tax, and they have historically been bad for our economy.
Tariffs are a tax on consumers, and I'm not a fan of jacking up taxes on American consumers. So my hope is these tariffs are short-lived and they serve as leverage to lower tariffs across the globe.
I'm not going to bubble wrap it. What's happening is not good. Now, will it continue? Will we find the bottom and then it'll start to go back up? I hope so. That's what I'm pulling for. Yeah. But if it doesn't, we'll have to recalibrate.
All right, Kennedy, Cruz, I mean, these folks are stalwart Trump supporters. If they're willing to speak out, do you think this will give permission for more Republicans in Congress to start pushing back with policies they disagree with?
Someone should tell Senator Kennedy that hope is not a strategy. And the reality is that...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, were you speaking with me?
Nope, go ahead, and we'll get to Brendan afterwards. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Brendan. The reality is that, look, these words are nice. We'll see what their actions are. If you look at their behavior over the last few months, they've not actually stepped forward in a real meaningful way. So let's see how this plays itself out.
All right, Brendan, over to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it depends on how long this pain lasts. There's a lot of, I think, happy talk. Maybe that's not happy talk, but wishing that this is just going to be a short-term thing and that he's just trying to strike a few deals with some countries and we're going to bring these tariffs back down. I don't know that we should have any confidence in that. And if this does last for a long time and the pain that we're feeling right now becomes the new normal, I think the political dynamic for Donald Trump could potentially change. I'm not ever going to tell you that, his control of the party is over or anything like that, but this is completely unsustainable. I mean, the pain that we saw in the last few days is just the beginning. Hitting your 401k is one thing, but we don't need to guess. We just saw what happens in politics when prices go up. And we're talking about prices potentially going up much more than we even saw in the inflation era of Joe Biden. So if that does come to fruition and he doesn't knock this off anytime soon, I don't think he's going to. I think you're going to see a lot of people, not just privately, but publicly really question what he's doing. And that may be the only way that we get out of this is a incredibly bad political dynamic for Donald Trump. And he realizes he has no other choice.
Michael, I do want to ask you, Rand Paul also noted that, the last time Republicans put tariffs into effect in the 1930s, Republicans lost control of Congress for decades. What effect do you think these could have on the midterms, as we were just talking about?
Well, kind of as what Brennan just alluded to, you've got a state Senate seat in Pennsylvania that Democrats won. You've got this Supreme Court seat that we won in Wisconsin. And I think this is a drip, drip, drip for a larger wave that is coming if this doesn't turn around. Tariffs are obviously a tax. It's the biggest tax we've had since 1968 on the American people. And voters will punish Donald Trump and Republicans if they can't turn this around, because everything we pay for, everything on Amazon, everything from Target is going to cost more. People don't have money to spend. And so Republicans have to do something to turn this around.
I think I just won my taxes.
Oh, yeah?
I just switched from TurboTax to H&R Block. It was so easy.
You mean?
Steve, I want to start by asking you about the scope and impact of these Trump tariffs, and if there's any way to predict. And joining us now is Michael. Today, we're learning more about this week's election results in Florida and Wisconsin, voters having their say about the performance of the administration and Elon Musk, even before President Trump put those devastating global tariffs into place. Joining us now is Galen Druke, political analyst and host of the GD Politics podcast. All right, let's start with Wisconsin, okay? It was a resounding win for the liberal-leaning Judge Crawford there. How did she accomplish it? Was it close? And I don't know about you, but any campaign I've ever covered, when you have someone sinking their own money into it, it almost always backfires. What is your takeaway from this whole race?
Yeah, it was not close at all. Listen, Wisconsin was the closest state in the country in the 2024 election. Trump won there by less than a percentage point. But Susan Crawford on Tuesday won that state by 10 percentage points. That tells me a couple things. First of all, I don't think that this was just a shift in opinion. All of a sudden, Wisconsin is, a Democrat plus 10 state. I think it tells me that there's a really big differential in terms of who is turning out. Democratic voters are turning out at higher rates because they are frustrated with the state of the country. And Elon Musk putting himself front and center in this election made it sort of a referendum on his impact on the administration so far. And that's not a situation that Republicans really want to be in. If you look at a Marquette Law poll that came out earlier in March, you see that Elon Musk was underwater amongst Wisconsinites by 12 percentage points, while Trump was only underwater amongst Wisconsinites by 3 percentage points. So by becoming a big part of this race, he could have actually pushed the state Supreme Court race more towards Susan Crawford. And another piece of evidence that goes to that is that there was also a statewide superintendent race on Tuesday where the Democratic endorsed candidate didn't do quite as well as Crawford. She won by 6 percentage points, which is still pretty good, but not that double-digit margin that we saw for Susan Crawford.
And, it wasn't smooth sailing for Republicans in Florida either. Both Republicans, they did win their respective races, but it wasn't as easy as it probably should have been or they would have hoped. What did those races tell you?
Yeah, I mean, a win, but not a moral win, I would say. So both of those congressional districts in Florida, the 1st and the 6th, are very Republican. I mean, Trump won the 1st congressional district by 37 points back in 2024, and he won the 6th district by about 30 points back in 2024. But in both circumstances, the Republican only won by about 15 percentage points. Now, I think that tells us that there's a similar dynamic going on in those congressional districts to what we saw in Wisconsin, that Americans, and in particular liberal-leaning Americans, are very upset and are turning out at higher rates than Republicans. In American politics, it is often the case that voters turn out as a mechanism by which they say sort of screw you to the politicians that they don't like, as opposed to saying thank you, right? Republicans may be happy with how things are going on immigration or crime or, DEI policies or what have you, but that's not necessarily going to turn them out at the same rates as Democrats. And one other issue that I think we should really be paying attention to here is Social Security. So in that 6th congressional district, about a third of the population there is eligible for Social Security. And we just saw in a recent Gallup poll that there is a record high percentage of Americans, sort of going back the 15 years that they've been asking this question, who are very concerned about the administration of Social Security. That has become a front and center issue. We've seen protests. Now we're seeing it in the data as well, that's an issue that Americans are concerned about.
All right. Rage has always been an OG motivator in political circles.
I was so tired of my kids coming home knowing only ML.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in.
It's almost like Trump with the tariffs kind of took the heat off of Elon after what happened in Wisconsin, because he needs it. He's been having a really rough few weeks, and Republicans in Congress and elsewhere are getting nervous, and they would like him to turn the dial down on some of this stuff.
Yeah, I was on with you guys some weeks ago, and I said that the Republicans were going to have to bench Elon Musk, that they were going to have to put him on the bench. He is deeply, deeply unrelatable when you look at him. And then he doesn't seem to talk about the American people as if they're actually people. He's running his wing of the country in a very dollars and cents, like Neo from the Matrix way. And he doesn't seem to have that little empathy chip that allows a person to understand when you're talking about somebody's job, when you're talking about somebody's future, when you say that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, I immediately think of my grandmother. And anyone who thought of grandmothers wouldn't say that. So after a while, the shtick was going to get old and it was going to cost the Republicans electorally. It's a matter of time.
I mean, it's more than having, empathy, Gene. He has said recently that the Western civilization's greatest failure is empathy, which many people would argue is actually one of the better hallmarks of a civilization worth the name. And there is a political backlash. I mean, Harry Enton's run through the numbers a million times, but the reality is that he is deeply unpopular. Now, he put a lot of personal capital and financial capital into this Wisconsin race. It didn't go his way, but at some point, all the knives are out. And he's a great entrepreneur. You got to give him credit for that. He is one of the great entrepreneurs of our time. But this incarnation of Elon Musk is causing massive damage.
I'm just going to channel Kara Swisher here for 2 seconds and note that he did not create Tesla. He came into Tesla, and many of his other companies as well. But I like this headline from CNN Business. It said, in short, voters, customers, investors, and the MAGA elite say the Elon Musk show has lost the plot. His companies are having a hard time with this. And I do think that there's something about this Wisconsin race that was so interesting in the way that Elon really kind of put his money front and center. He wasn't just saying, I'm using my voice as a citizen to push for the guy I like. He was like, let me just hand out some checks and this is how we're going to win this thing. And I do think that there was always a risk that voters were going to say, that's not how this country works. And we don't like that. And some of that backlash, no question, hurt the Republican.
All right.